getting these vanities installed. Get this stuff. Get all pieces here. At the mountain brake. We need a regular decking screws.
Ready to come with it, too short.
Spacer, put a spacer in there. That'll work.
We'll level the whole light up.
After we get it. Sure. You want to twist them with your pliers? I don't, you got wires sticking out on that. Let's fold it up under here. Like folded. Yeah, I guess it's behind the fixture in a way.
That's all I want. Shoot, boy.
Put it daggum close.
Watch out.
Yeah, we're gonna get some bulbs going there. So what I went with the vanities, these are the Hampton Bay, the Hickory. I went with Diamond Nail for the kitchen cabinets, but they don't make a vanity like I wanted in the Hickory, or I don't even know if they make a vanity in the Hickory at all. But Hampton Bay did. The Hampton Bay is sold through Home Depot. The Diamond Nail sold through Lowe's. And I will just point out a few things. So the wood, the way the wood looks, you know, the thickness, all that of this, the Hampton Bay matches the Diamond Nail pretty much the same. The difference is though, so the Diamond Nail, and I'll show you in just a second, has these little plastic corner brackets here. They have a spot where you can screw your countertop down, you know, through the bottom. And then in the front up here has nothing on these. See, this is the Diamond Nail, and they have, like I was talking about, these brackets, and you can screw through to your countertop here. I like this better. I think they sell these at Lowe's, if I'm not mistaken, just these brackets. Also, the slides, these slides came off of these counters. I mean, these cabinets, I took those, they work fine. I took them out because I wanted the soft close. I wanted the soft close ones, as you can see there. I also got soft close ones to go on here. We're about to do that here in just a second. But the slides, you can see here's my drawers. The slides on these suck though. I'm just gonna tell you now, the Diamond Nail ones, they're pretty decent for factory slides. If you don't want soft close, they work fine. But these absolutely suck. I didn't know if I was gonna put soft close on these or not, but now I really have no choice because the factory ones for these sucked terribly. These are the factory ones here, and they're not good at all. So we're gonna take these out, and I got soft close ones. So now setting it, my floor was already perfectly level. I really didn't have to shim it, but the problem is over here on this wall is slightly out of level, I guess. So I had a gap at the top. So what I did was put 2 shims, and I've already cut them off with a razor blade. I just scored it with a razor and then snapped it. I got 2 shims in there, and the only reason I put those 2 shims was to get it flush against this wall so there's no gap there, because it's slightly out of level this way, barely. But you'll never notice that, but you will notice, or would notice, if there's a gap right there, you know, when you walk in and look at it. So I didn't want that. So that's good. We got it set. I cut these rails. I didn't video this other stuff because there's nothing much to it. And if you watch my cabinet video, I have some of the same stuff. I cut these rails to put in here, top and bottom, to hold it against the wall. And so that's where I mounted that. So it's good, it's solid now, it's not going nowhere. And then of course, the other ones, like the sink basin for the Diamond Now, already has the back missing. I do prefer to have a back, but then you just have to cut it out, so that's fine. We got these cut out just with a hole saw and put through there. There's nothing to that much. But thought I'd point out a few differences in this and the Lowe's stuff. Like I said, if you're looking for kitchen cabinets and you just run across this video and you want some box Hickory cabinets from the store, I would go with Diamond Now. I'm just going, I didn't have a preference either way to start with, but now I absolutely have a preference. Now this is fine. Like I said, if you're going to upgrade it like I'm doing, these work fine. But you know, the other one's a little bit better quality on some of the other stuff. So in the kitchen, we have slabs like these, but I don't have enough to do. I have 2.5 inch slabs there left. I started with 2 on the other. I don't have enough to do those, and I don't want to do that anyway. See, these are the ones that we already had cut, and they look fine. The problem is it's a lot of work because you have to pop your line, you rip it down straight, then you plane all of them down, and then, you know, we're gonna have to join the edges, which I'm still waiting on the guy. He's gonna let me borrow his joiner to do that. And also, that's going for the kitchen countertops. I would like to do that so they would all match. I have another one of these. So this is a 30-inch one. The other one's a 48-inch one. You know, it's kind of the same setup with the drawers. We also gotta do this one, and you know, mounted this one the same way. So we're gonna have to cheat a little bit where the drain pipe comes through. I'm gonna have to come out with a spacer to mount that because it's just a little bit in the way. But y'all see that when we get there. I'll shut up. I won't keep rambling too much. Do the hinges first, get that done, start working on the countertops. I'm going to be installing these Reliabuilt soft close drawer slides. So first I have to remove the old ones. Of course, I got the drawers already slid out. I just gotta take these out real quick. They're just held in 2 screws at the front and then these little tabs in the back where those holes are. And these are absolute trash. So what I'm gonna be doing is reusing, these have a bushing in there. I'm going to be reusing the original hole where these was at up front. That's what I did on the cabinets in the kitchen. And I'll show you, I'm gonna tap that back in with a hammer real quick, but I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. So it appears on these, not only are some of the things about this Vanity not quite as quality to me as the Diamond Now version, they also appear to use some kind of rivet to hold these on rather than some screws. I also don't like, which this is kind of fast forwarding, but they already pre-drill your holes for your knobs. That's fine if you're gonna use the knobs, but I would prefer to be able to use, you know, maybe some different handles, which will still have the hole there if you do that. So you're kind of stuck to using knobs, just like it's pre-drilled there. So anyway, I don't know, it's okay. So now I have the Craig jigs. If you've seen the Craig drawer jigs, I'm going to use them, but I'm not going to use the process they give you. I'm going to show you my process, which is basically you can either use their process or you can use the instructions that come with the slides and use their process, which is what I'm going to do. I'll show you in just a second about the jigs. I'm going to use them basically just to hold it up there so I can get it all level. So anyway, so the screwdriver method to me works a little faster. You just pop them out, no problem. It did chip a little bit on the first one, which is fine, but you'll never see that anyway. So we have those, this one done. To reuse these holes that are already here, I can just move them up to the original position here and it should fit exactly, you know, the way it was from the factory. So I'm going to show you how to remove these. You slide them all the way out and then you press this lever here down and it'll come right off. Just like that. This piece that you took off goes on the drawer here. It goes on the drawer here and you screw it down, and it's about 3 locations, which is what I did, and I just used these holes on the other drawers I did, so that's what I'm going to do on these. You screw that down and then you obviously fasten this side, well, this side to the drawer. So first, we're gonna do the bottom one first because we need to get to it without that stuff in the way. Then I'll use the Craig jigs to show you kind of how to hold it up while you try to get it level. According to the Reliability ones, which is the same as what the factory diamond nail ones come, but these are a little different. It says to measure from the bottom here up 1.25 inches and mount this inch, the holes 1.25 inches up, and then put it in there and mark. Basically, figure out position you want it, mark the bottom of the cabinet here, and then measure up, and that's your where you would drill these holes to put the slides on. But what I'm going to do is just use the factory location that they already work, because they're already lined up. I'm going to use this hole already, which means I will need to use the center of these. So that's what I'm going to do. Put these on there, use the original holes there, and level them up, and I'll show you in a second. And they should line up just like they were from the factory. This location here, which is 7/8 of an inch. So I'm going to pre-drill where my screws go, which is going to be these smaller ones. I'm going to mark up 7/8 of an inch and back however far that is, and fasten them, pre-drill my holes and fasten them. Also, I forgot to mention, they come with a pack of screws in each set of slides to use. First things first, you see that hole right there? I'm going to screw that. These are made where you can move them, where you can get to the screw hole. But anyway, screw it down in the original location. Get your level on it this way, and also get a measurement off, because it's 3/4 of an inch from the side of the cabinet over to the inside edge of the rail. So back here, you gotta make sure 3/4 inches over, and it's level also. And then all I did was just mark my corner there so I can put it back in space and pre-drill my holes. I just did 2 of the deck screws to go into the wall. That's plain enough. All right, guys, let's put this slide in. Make sure it closes properly. The drawer in. I got them measured the right distance, screwed down so they're nice and square there. So you close it on first. Now, moves freely. Soft close. Hey, hey. I ain't got a handle to pull on them, so there we go. And it has the same overlay as before. And so I put the top one in there, and I'll show you in just a second. It'll be lined up properly. Let's get the top one in using the same methods that I'm going to use these Craig jigs just to kind of help support it, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to use here, one thing I mentioned, the drawers, they didn't come with these little bumpers like what's right here on the door. I'm going to get some for that, so it's a little bit quieter when it doesn't have that tap when it closes. Anyway, so the Craig here, jigs here, they have these little tabs that these pop forward and then these pop out. Of course, there's nothing for this one to rest on this side of the cabinet because there's no wall over here, but this side over here does. All right, there we go. So basically, like how I did the bottom of there, I'm gonna screw it into the original hole, and then I'm gonna let it sit on this just while I get it level so it's not just hanging down the whole time. And the same thing over here. So this is what I was talking about with these Craig jigs. I got the screw put in there, just snowed down, and it's sitting there so I can put my level on there, put my bracket, all this and that, without it just flopping down, having to pick it back and forth every time. It's kind of sitting where it's gonna be. So it's kind of the same way with this. I'm gonna put my level on there. And first things first, mark a level across the top side. Mark a line across the top side right there when it's level. Then I can take the level off, use my tape measure to get the spacing from the wall here the same, and put a mark on this left side here. So I know both my measurement away and up from back there, and then I can just pre-drill the screw. All right, so as you can see here, both of them are done. I'm gonna do these real quick. There's no need to record those because I just showed you these, but they sit just right. And they have like a spring in there, so if you don't have handles, it's kind of hard to get them out, hold back, but when you put the knobs on there, it'll be fine. So they both close nice and softly. rubber washer. So we got the 90-degree valves. We just crimped them on that side. It's a PEX crimp on that one side, and the valve on the other with threads. As you can see, threads on the top for your faucet lines, and then the drain. This is the one we got because it's the oil rubs bronze, but it's also the waterfall style that we like. I like them too, but my wife likes them, so that's why we got that one. And it comes with a drain. So it's got a thin rubber washer under this side. This is the push kind. You push it in, push it down. You don't have the little rod to stop it. But it's got a thin washer under that side, rubber washer. This side has like a thicker cone shaped one that goes up in the hole, and then when you thread this on, it keeps pressure and seals that off in there. So that's a pretty good design in my opinion anyway. Excuse the background noise. Dad's talking about electrical work on the phone with a customer, but anyway, on these you put some silicone. It says not to use plumber's putty also on this. This is a culture, that's it. It's cultured marble, and it says on the instructions not to use plumber's putty. So anyway, you put silicone only in the corners, and we'll show you in a second what I'm talking about. On this part, you don't put any, just put them on the corners where they're gonna sit, and that's it. We're gonna end up using a wedge, and I'll show that in a second. Got the water lines already attached. This is the style we got here. And to cover the 3 holes, just got this like plate with this like plastic spacer thing. So it goes on there. It's got this ring washer on the back with the nut that holds it on. Dry fit, see, that's gonna do. Silicone only the corners because it don't touch the sides right here because they set too far in here. And also this one just so happened, this little ridge sits flat on this, but on a different one it's set a little bit lower, so it wasn't touching across the front. So I would put a wedge in there because if you lean on it, it'll pop and crack, split it all the way in half. Ask me how I know. So put one there, but luckily this one sits flush already, so we don't need a wedge, a wood wedge under there. That's what you look like. We gotta hook the water lines up under the bottom there. On this 30-incher, we use a different kind of faucet. We use the 3-hole, and it's just got plastic nuts to hold on to there. We gotta attach the lines to it. Yeah, click close, whatever it is. what I'm saying. You either gotta come over next to the other line, or you gotta.
So that's gonna turn like that. That's gonna be just like that.
To be behind it.
It'll be like that. We can get down like that. This is
I'll do that.
That's what what I'm talking about.
Right on.
Yeah.
Oh man, inside this. Bit of extension piece.
Yeah, but
Be a little bit longer or a little shorter.
yeah.
So we got lucky on the other one. We did not get lucky on this one. If you can see, there's a big gap under the front of this one, and it does not have that ribbed part in the middle. So we're gonna have to put some kind of wedge here to support. Because like I said, if you push down there, it will flex. And I know all about that. So we got some of these wedges we doubled up. Stick them in from the back side. Stick a little silicone on there so it'll hold them in place. So we're gonna try to fill it up. All right guys, she's done. All except for the mirror, of course. We're gonna use a mirror that's got a wood border and it's darker brown. About like the color of this walnut, or like you see what I'm working on right here with the window casings. I haven't got the outside trim yet. She wanted to say hey. But we got them done. I put the knobs on, the Amerilocks, and they come with 2 screws, a longer one for the drawers and then a shorter one for these handles here. But they look, and I think they look nice on there. It kind of finishes it off and matches with the faucet up there. Also gonna put a mirror to match the same thing, same knobs on that other bathroom y'all saw with the smaller vanity. On the bottom down here, that's all where we glued the fittings on for like the trap kit, and we're gonna install the trap kit, but the drain, we have the drain coming out of the wall a little bit too short. If it'd come a little higher, it'd been fine, but it was just, you know, a hair too short. So the drain from the sink wasn't long enough, so we got this extension kit. Basically it does exactly the same thing, except it just goes on there and then this one goes in here. And it's got the compression ring that you put in there, so when you tighten it down, it seals off. My little girl shining her light. But that's all there is to that. If you've ever installed a trap, you know how that goes. If you're interested in these knobs, I don't know if I can get you a good view there, but they're similar to the oil rub bronze on that. But that's the number there. They sell them on Amazon. Amarok, sorry. For some reason I was thinking Amerilock, but Amarok. The only other thing, I'm gonna take some white caulking and run this down the seam here. Just to, well, probably across the back there, just to keep water from going in there if it splashes for whatever reason. Or, you know, keep the old lady from dropping a necklace, earring, or something down in there. But yeah, I don't feel that's video worthy. Just you ought to watch me caulk that. That's gonna wrap it up here. I think it all turned out real nice.